Posse. My name is Will Bronlick, and welcome to another review here on Alpha Omega Wolf Productions. The Secret of NIMH is directed and written by Don Bluth, and this tells the story of a mouse named Mrs. Brisby as she embarks on a quest to gain the help of a colony of rats to help save her ill son. Okay, so a little bit of a confession. I've never seen this movie until just recently. And I've heard so many good things about it, and I'm a huge fan of Don Bluth. I really like American Tail. I like The Land Before Time, but this is the one that a lot of people consider to be his magnum opus. And I've never came across, watching it, mainly because I didn't know how I could watch it. But I found it on YouTube, which you have to watch with some wonderful ads. Isn't that fun? But I have to say, after watching The Secret of NIMH for the first time, I thought this movie was flat out phenomenal. I thought it was fantastic. The animation is spectacular. It's probably some of my favorite animation I've seen in an animated movie before. Just from the shots to the drawings, the cinematography, everything about this movie just stands out. It even has some pretty haunting imagery, which make this movie perfect not just for kids, but for adults too. But we'll get to that in a little bit. The characters were also pretty well established too. You have the main character of Mrs. Brisby, who's a pretty likable character. You also have the side characters of Justin and Jeremy and everybody else. They're all well established. They were fleshed out, given a decent amount of screen time and development. This movie is not that long, but yet they make it work. Another thing about movies that I'm a big sucker for, if it's done right, is the musical score. And you have the great Jerry Goldsmith doing the music for this, and it was absolutely fantastic. In fact, I think it might be one of my favorite soundtracks in any movie, period. It was inspiring, it was heartwarming, but it was also pretty dark and ominous, and I really liked it. I might get the soundtrack later on down the road. As stated before, this movie is perfect not just for kids, but adults as well. This has some pretty heavy stuff that I think a lot of kids wouldn't really wrap their mind around. And I really like how this movie ups the ante by giving us some haunting imagery. Uh, and some people are kind of iffy about that, but for my personal opinion, I freaking loved it. In the end, Secret of NIMH is a fantastic movie. There's very few movies that I consider to be a masterpiece, and I think it's safe to say that Secret of NIMH is definitely a masterpiece. It has beautiful animation, likable characters, amazing music, and some very haunting and very thought-provoking themes. Overall, if you haven't seen this movie, I highly recommend you check it out. If not, then if you already have seen it, then you probably know where I'm going to go with this. I'm going to give The Secret of NIMH an A+. Guys, that just about does it for this review. If you did enjoy this video, then be sure to give it a big thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe for more content. I'm going to have to see what other movies I can do for you guys. But hopefully I can get something up for you guys in the near future. So, until next time, see you later, Posse.